Hello chess friends and welcome to your out of chess channel and welcome back to the FTX CryptoCup tournament in 2022. We're following now the beautiful match game between Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa and Levon Aronian from the day 4. Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa has a perfect score out of this first 3 rounds. He has all 3 wins like Magnus Carlsen, so it's still a battle between the world champion and of course the most talented player in the world, also against Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa. So as I said, today Pragu has good chances maybe to make even a 4th win. The first 2 games out of the 4 games ended in a draw, and we're skipping now in the game 3 where Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa played now with the white pieces against Levon with the black pieces. So still they have to play one more game, so this is not the decisive game, but so far it was the most interesting one out of the match game. So let's see now what happens. So Pragu versus Levon here in the 3rd game. So d4 was played by Pragu. We have knight to f6 by Levon Aronian. C4, we have g6, maybe inviting now Pragu to go into the King's Indian, because yesterday Levon pulled off also a sharp King's Indian against the Magnus Carlsen, the world champion, but eventually lost the game. Magnus found really great tactical ideas, but after move knight to c3, the game transposes now into the Grunfeld defense. And okay, we have here this normal line, knight to f3, 3 knights variation. We have bishop to g7, and now after c takes d5, we have the exchange variation in the center of the board. Pretty standard stuff. Many games in chess history have been played in this way. So after move knight to d5, we have e4, knight takes c3, and b takes c3. This is now again a common position in the Grunfeld defense. White is now a dominant position with this pawn structure in the center of the board, and black is trying to break now this pawn chain by playing the move c5, knight to c6, simply continuing the pressure around the square. So that's why c5 immediately by Levon. We have h3. This is a prophylactic move here by Pragu. He is not allowing here this knight on f3 to get pinned, so the knight is of course controlling further the d4 square. So many times also a beautiful idea in the Grunfeld defense here from White's perspective. So here kingside castling, bishop to e3. So you see Pragu is keeping the position around the square d4 compact. Queen to a5. Now of course the threat is c takes d4, because c takes d4 wouldn't be a possibility because of the pin by the queen against the pawn. So now comes already the critical moment of the game. So we're now in move 10, and here Pragu played bishop to d2. It is a little bit weird to play with the same piece twice in the opening stage, but it's not a mistake. It's not a problem. This line that Pragu pulled off here many times also, this position has been reached in chess history. Although you can also you can also play the move queen to d2. Then of course after something like c takes d4, maybe c takes d4, queen takes the d2, even the move king to d2 is a possibility. The game reaches now further the end game stage, so as I said, it wouldn't be, I think, also a bad position for white or for black. But okay, here after move queen to a4, bishop to d2 has been played by Pragu, because of course after c takes d4, this developing of the long diagonal comes now with a direct threat against the queen, and the queen would have to escape. So also I think this wouldn't be such a problematic position for Levon Aronian. Also another opportunity after bishop to d2 could have been maybe queen to a3, continuing the pressure here, but I think the normal way is to proceed here with queen to c7, and I think black is solid position, can develop the knight to c6, can of course go maybe bishop to e6 in the near future if you haven't played maybe this move knight to c6, maybe b6, bishop to b7. So still plenty of options here for black. But Levon played now really theoretical novelty. I would not call it a theoretical novelty, because it's a huge blunder that Levon now pulled off, because after move b6, you see the queen is a little bit trapped here. The queen has only, I think, here this square a3 in order to escape, but the queen is now paralyzed on this diagonal, so you don't have escape routes. And now the serious threat as a long-term tactic is the move c4. If that happens, of course the queen could be endangered by the dark square bishop, and that's now a huge problem. What Pragu could have played immediately, but he unfortunately didn't play. He played here the move queen to b3. He continued now his attack, and he could continue to paralyze the queen further. Still here white should be much better, but way to go was immediately to play the move a4. The problem about the move queen to b3 instead of a4 is that you have lost now a little bit the connection between the queen and the rook. So that's why many times, for instance, after move a4 here, b5 is not an opportunity here to escape, because of course a takes b5 comes of course also here with the direct threat against the queen. So look at this. So maybe black can develop here with knight to c6, bishop to b5, very important move, and now c4 is an opportunity, the discovered attack here against the queen. So the knight is hanging, you have to protect it, and now you can even castle, maybe rook to d8, but now look at this, we're first kicking away the knight, and now as we said c4 is really already a bad position here for black. So as I said, this is not working. This was this move a4 that Pragg unfortunately missed. He played queen to b3. Still, he's not allowing here the queen to breathe, but I still think, as I said, the connection between the queen and the rook is much more important now. Maybe even if you try some ideas of bishop to a6, look at this, you get c4. So never now black can escape now with the queen. The queen is really paralyzed here on the queen side. So it was a huge problem now for Levon, how to get the queen back into the game. He tried now bishop to d7. A better idea, instead of this move bishop to d7, is at least to attack somehow the position, maybe with the move bishop to e6, but still it's not getting better, because after queen to b2 the queen gets again connected to the rook, and now you could maybe try a rook to c8, trying somehow to battle here around the square c3, but now bishop to b5 is a brilliant move. This wasn't played in the game, but this would be the analysis maybe after bishop to e6 if the queen would be kicked away. Look at this, now the bishop on b5 is not allowing here again the queen to escape, and now as we said, c4 is now the huge threat. The queen is again, I think, trapped. You could maybe try here to move c4 to just somehow paralyze a little bit here the c pawn, but still it's not getting better. a4, again, the normal idea. You could maybe try even to move a6, but look at this now. Kingside castling is, I think, here winning the game, because a takes b5 is of course not an opportunity, because after a takes b5 the queen gets now trapped on the a file. So it wouldn't be better, but after move a6 here in this position, you don't have to even take out the bishop. At least you're prolonging the game somehow, but still look at this, how the queen is weird here on a5. So I would not love to play now this position from black's perspective. So as I said, if instead of this move bishop to e6, Levon pulled off here bishop to d7. He didn't even attack the queen, and now it gave here time Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa to advance the pawn on a4, and now we have reached a similar position where the queen cannot escape. So basically Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa missed this move a4 just for one move, and now he has again a beautiful position where he's threatening now c4 and to trap the queen. So really wild stuff. So e6, we have a rook to a2. You see Pragg is again connecting his rook to the queen perfectly fine, but also gets out of the range of the dark square bishop. So we have here bishop to c6, and now comes this idea bishop to b5. If you take of course bishop to b5, then a takes b5. That was the beauty about this move rook to a2 by Pragg. Now again the queen would be trapped. So that's why after move bishop to b5 we have now c4 by Levon Aronian. He's not allowing now c4 by white, because of course we say this move comes with a direct threat against the queen. So that's why after move c4 here we have queen to c4. Now Levon has lost the pawn, but still he didn't solve every problem. Even if you try again bishop to b5, again this idea a takes b5 is going to happen again. The queen is trapped. Really cool stuff here by Pragg. So after move queen to c4 we have rook to c8. Now queen to b3, again with the same threat. So basically you see the position didn't change. Still white is threatening this annoying c4 move. So a6, c4, we have a takes b5. The queen got trapped. We have bishop to a5, and after b takes c4 here Pragg took. Queen takes c4, or maybe a slightly more accurate move now is to play maybe queen to b6, getting the queen here on this very active square, and also you could then protect your bishop on a5. But Pragg probably didn't want to risk anything, played queen to c4. We have b takes a5, and now Pragg castles. And when we look now the position here, Levon Aronian has two minor pieces, so he has two bishops for the queen. But still the most important thing here is to notice that white is pass pawn here on the d file, so this pawn can roll on, and this is now completely winning game here, I think, for Pragg. So here knight to a6 by 11, we have queen to e2, knight to b4, attacking now the rook to a1. So here Pragg slowed down the pace a little bit of the game, is saying I'll not lose any decisive material further. We have bishop to e8, rook from f to c1, competing now on the c file, rook takes, and now bishop to a4 here by Levon Aronian, but it doesn't matter because Pragg found here good opportunities how to include now the pieces into the game. We have a bishop, knight to e5, here we have bishop to e8, and now the queen comes on a very active square. It prevents also the pawn move a4. If that happens, of course, the knight is hanging. So maybe there are better sort of stockfish moves that white or black could play, but we have to say this is, as I said, completely winning here for Pragg. So queen to c4, h6, queen to c7, again a beautiful active move by Pragg. We have bishop to f8, queen to b7, and now Pragg wants to simplify the game till the end. He's trying now to trade off the rooks and then to take out this pawn, include the queen, of course, on the 8th rank. So it's a good idea here by white. So rook to d8, rook to c8, rook takes c8, rook queen takes c8. Now the bishop is hanging here, bishop to a4. We have a queen to c7, and now there's not a good way anymore how to protect this pawn here. 11 tried bishop to e8, but now when this pawn was taken, we have knight to c6, knight takes c6, bishop to c6, and after move d5 in this position, 11 resigned, because as we said, the main strength is now the passer. If maybe this position wouldn't be without this d pawn, then it would be very tough for white to win the game. I think it would be a drawish position, because with two bishops against the queen, I think you could defend the position when it comes to maybe 4 versus 4 pawns on the board. But now with this extra pawn, with this passer on the d file, in my opinion here, there's nothing that can be done in this position. As we said, 11 Aronian resigned. So really great game. 11 messed it up in the beginning with the move b6, trapped his queen basically in an early stage of the game, but still we don't want to undermine, of course, here Pragg's game, because he's really dominating now the tournament so far, also with Magnus Carlsen. So far he didn't make a crucial mistake in his games. He's playing really almost perfect chess, so he is now, as I said in the beginning, maybe even the favorite to win the whole thing. So okay, I hope that you enjoyed the game. Really, I think we can enjoy it because I think when you're a beginner, you can understand that you see also top grandmasters like Levon Aronian are also making crucial mistakes, but still Levon, as we said, has now the opportunity maybe in the game 4 to make a drawish result. We'll see what will happen. So far Pragg is in the lead. If you want to see also some other games that we have covered so far in this event, check out here my coverage with some other great games. And if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you soon with some more videos, and chess is the best, of course.